Hello and welcome. My name is Bart Riss, and I work as a Director of Business Solutions here at Everbridge. And today I'm excited to be talking to you about our digital operations platform. Now, before we get into the digital piece, it's important to note that Everbridge is a critical event management platform that has a wide array of solutions to protect organizations from critical events, ranging from physical to digital, like we'll be discussing today. So, in order for an organization to be operationally resilient, it's important to note that they need to protect their digital services and infrastructure, as they are absolutely essential to deliver an exceptional customer experience and also fundamentally keep business operations running as well. What we're going to be talking about today is how our platform is going to be able to modernize incident response and extend the value of existing applications to make sure that organizations can mitigate the impact of an outage. As we know, with incidents, it's not really a matter of if, but more of a matter of when. And what organizations can control is how effectively they respond and how efficiently they're using their existing investments in various IT systems to communicate, collaborate, and automate process. So before we jump into the demonstration, I do want to set the stage just a little bit. We're going to simulate a system outage, and we're going to showcase how multiple tools can seamlessly come together with a high degree of automation. We're going to begin our journey on the left-hand side with an incoming signal from New Relic. Even though we're going to use New Relic as an example, it's important to note that our platform seamlessly integrates with hundreds of IT tools and systems. So we are tool agnostic. Once we ingest the signal, we'll showcase how we could enrich it with other relevant data. Maybe try to prevent the incident altogether by executing a runbook, enriching it with data to see if maybe there is a recent code commit or a change that could explain why the incident happened. Coordinate between ticketing systems such as ServiceNow or Jira to make sure that regardless of which tool certain teams use, they're consistently being informed in an integrated fashion. And then showcase how, through key required capabilities like automated scheduling that escalates, we could make sure that we're keeping resolvers engaged as well as stakeholders informed proactively until the issue is resolved. Let's go ahead and jump into the platform. What we're looking at the screen now is the xMatters mobile app. This is one of many ways in which we could receive notifications. Now, what we see now is an incoming signal. I'm getting a phone call, I got an SMS message, as well as a notification that has been pushed to the mobile app. When I click on that notification, I could see that I have information that was incoming from New Relic. And at the top, I could see the core details from that New Relic event. This is great. I'm extending the value of New Relic. However, this isn't where the true value really comes in. In addition to the core details from New Relic, you could see that I also have important insights from a diagnostic perspective from other systems. So after the New Relic signal came in, before sending the alert, the platform actually gathered and enriched that signal from other systems. An example here is I see that there is almost 7,500 messages in RabbitMQ. This is letting me know what the potential impact of this issue is. It seems to be pretty significant. I could also see that earlier today, Greg Smart in GitHub committed code into production that impacts the inventory order confirmation service. And then I have also confirmation that this committed code was in fact deployed into production via a CI/CD pipeline automation tool such as Jenkins. I actually see that xMatters tried to automatically resolve the issue before even engaging me. I see that an auto remediation attempt was made via an Ansible script, and I see the error code that it unfortunately was not successful due to an issue with an inventory order confirmation service. So now let's take a look real quick before we get into the response choices of how this automation took place. So now let's quickly also take a look at Slack. In Slack, I have a channel called Monitoring Alerts, where data is communicated in terms of what's happening from a monitoring perspective. I could see here that in relation to this issue, I see that xMatters tried to auto remediate a particular service, which is that inventory order confirmation service. And I also see that a Jira ticket has been logged to track this remediation. And if I look at the thread from a reply perspective, I could actually see that it has been subsequently updated with the information that the restart was unsuccessful and the Jira ticket was updated with that information. So here's an important demonstration of how, regardless of which system I am in, whether it be Slack, whether it be receiving an alert, whether it be New Relic, or whether it be in Jira, I am seeing all of the same information related to this particular incident. So the next thing I want to show is how this automation actually took place. I could see which workflow was actually triggered and zoom in a bit so we could actually see what's going on. And I click on activity. I could see what actually took place. So I could see the incoming signal, and I could see that before calling resolvers, I actually tried to automatically fix the issue by triggering Ansible Tower. I also created a Jira issue, and I posted to the Slack channel to let people know that an automated restart has been attempted. Now, since the restart failed, I have a switch here that says, hey, if the restart fails, add a comment to Jira, update the Slack channel, and also enrich that notification and send it out as part of the alert. So when I received the alert, the value is that I already saved a lot of time doing triage thanks to that enriched diagnostic data. So now let's pop back into the alert via the phone. So down at the bottom here, you could see that we have response choices. I could acknowledge the alert to prevent it from escalating to another individual on my team. And maybe I am an engineer that supports this service, and I know that we do need to escalate this as part of our major incident management process. However, I may not be as familiar with the corporate tools that are used to manage a major incident. Maybe I spend most of my time in Jira, in GitHub, in Jenkins, and I'm not as familiar with tools such as ServiceNow, Remedy, or Sherwell. I could break through those silos by simply clicking a button such as Create Major Incident. And without knowing or needing to navigate that particular UI, with this response, the workflow will now automatically create that ServiceNow ticket and automatically trigger my major incident response process. So now on the mobile app, I see that I'm getting a notification from ServiceNow. So I actually see that there has been an issue with the inventory order service, and I could also respond to accept or escalate. So I'll go ahead and accept just to show that response. So now that I responded, create major incident, I do want to showcase what else happened in Slack. So now here in Slack, I could see that there's been a new incident channel created specific to this major incident. I see the initial details from New Relic. I see the Jira issue, a link to the ServiceNow ticket, a link to the external status page to inform my stakeholders of the issue, as well as the incident in xMatters where we matched up the ticket number between ServiceNow and the conference bridge details. So now I'm seamlessly keeping people engaged regardless of what tool they typically spend most of their time in. And as important as it is to have all information available everywhere, for incident commanders, there's a lot of value to centralizing all of this data in one console. So let me go ahead and open up xMatters once more. Here in xMatters, we have an incident record that keeps track of everything that's happening in one place. I see a description of the issue. I could even see which services are impacted. I could see who is the incident commander. And so far, which teams have been automatically engaged to respond to this issue, as well as the ability to proactively keep stakeholders informed. At the top here, we'll get to this in a moment, we do have some recommended service-centric automations based on the impacted service. We have a link or a virtual collaboration hub that shows me all of the various collaboration channels that are open in regards to this incident. And I also have a running timeline of everything that has taken place since this incident was raised. So I can see what is happening in all of the various systems by all of my various stakeholders, whether they are operations teams and incident management teams or developers and SREs. So I want to go back at the top here to show the impacted services capabilities. So I could see that there's an issue with the API gateway and obviously the inventory order confirmation service, but I could actually also view dependencies. What xMatters is able to do is ingest data about your services so we could recommend what is the root cause. In this case, both the API gateway and the inventory confirmation service are dependent on the proxy service. So this could also be my smoking gun. From here, I could actually run service-centric automations for this service, whether it be a rolling restart or a failover. And if I click on it, I could actually view which team owns that service, so I could also quickly engage them as part of my incident management process. I'll go back to the incident management console, and I'll also click here to notify to engage. With the click of a button, I now have engaged the network management team because they are responsible for that proxy service, and the timeline has been automatically updated. So here I could continue to take actions to mitigate the impact of the service. I could run those service-centric automations. I could also add additional automations in the future that maybe are not specific to the service, but specific to my major incident management process at large. I can now upgrade this to a critical, add a work note. And once again, all of that is going to be seamlessly tracked in the timeline as well. So now we do have a critical. Now, once this incident is going to be resolved, and that resolution could occur in ServiceNow or it could occur in xMatters. The other key element that we're going to have is the ability to generate a post-incident report at the click of a button, as well as track important metrics to give us insights and the capability to continuously improve. I could see what was the time to acknowledge. I acknowledged pretty much right away. What was the impact duration? What was the time to resolve this particular incident? Which automations were triggered? What services were impacted? Which teams were engaged? And a running timeline of everything that took place, not only in xMatters, but in all of these various systems. And it's important to note, as we demonstrated by taking a look at Slack, and we saw links to Jira and ServiceNow, all of the tools were also updated with all of this important information. So essentially, we were able to make the data available everywhere, but also having one central place to manage the response of this critical IT incident. And with the click of a button, I could create that post-incident report. I could actually track after action items as well. I could do an analysis, a root cause analysis, lessons learned to make sure that we didn't only put out this fire for it to rekindle again in the future, but are taking steps to actually solve this for good so this issue does not resurface. And then after this report is entered into a final status, I could actually export it as a document or PDF as well. So as I thank you for joining me for this product demonstration, I do want to quickly summarize exactly what we walked through. xMatters extends the value of existing applications. We started within New Relic in terms of a alert condition occurring. New Relic acted as a signal into xMatters. Before we just sent a notification, we actually tried to automatically remediate the issue to mitigate the impact before involving a human. Unfortunately, due to an issue with the service, that recovery failed. So then we enriched the New Relic signal with important information from GitHub, from RabbitMQ, from Jenkins to confirm if there has been a recent change and also what widespread impact is this issue causing the organization. We then seamlessly were able to escalate this as a major incident and create a ServiceNow record. Also, updating and creating a Jira ticket as well to track the development aspects of this particular issue. And then seamlessly keep all of our technical stakeholders informed, regardless of what tool they may be in at that time, whether it be Jira, whether it be ServiceNow, whether it be Microsoft Teams or Slack. We also were able to automatically create a conference bridge, invite all of the required individuals based on the impacted services. We also showcased how xMatters could execute service-centric automations once we narrow down the root cause to expedite that MTTR, and also how we could seamlessly keep stakeholders engaged in that whole process. Thank you very much for joining me in this presentation, and it's important to note that we have all of our integrations listed on our integrations page. So you could take a look at how you could better integrate your tools, your processes, and teams when you have to navigate a major incident.